Hi everyone, Holly from Safe for Kids here, and I'm doing a series of 10 videos explaining different aspects of protective education. So in this video we're going to be talking about consent and why it's so important to teach it to children from a very young age. Now, when I am posting information on my Facebook page, I quite often post about consent, and I'll have people message me or write comments like, oh, don't be ridiculous, you don't talk to kids about consent until they're teenagers and things like that. They're missing the point, because consent isn't about, linked necessarily to sex. It needs to be taught as part of body autonomy. So for very young children, modelling it and explicitly teaching it to them is very important, showing them that they're the boss of their body. I have lots of great nieces and nephews, and they're just so cute, and whenever I want to give them a cuddle, I'll say, can I have a cuddle, or can I give you a kiss? And if they put out their arms, I take them, but if they turn their back on me, I don't take them, because I'm modelling it for them. I'm showing them that, if they say no, or if a child agrees to, be tickled or wrestling, the second they say no or stop, we need to stop straight away, because we need to show them that if they say no or stop, then you'll do it. Many of us have had, situations. I know when I was a child, I had an uncle who used to take out his teeth and go, give me a kiss. In fact, I've written a book about it. The kids love the story. But my family would make me kiss that man goodbye rather than saying, no. So I'm going to ask you to advocate for children. And if they don't want to kiss and cuddle people, then just explain to the adults that, your child is learning about they're the boss of their body. We can't wait until they're teenagers, because when I'm working with teenagers in high school, teenage boys at 14 admit to me of watching at least 2 hours a week of pornography. So if they're prepared to admit to 2 hours, my gut feeling is they're watching a great deal more. But when I say to the young men, fellas, why would you look at that? Oh, to learn technique, miss, to learn style. Let me stop right there, because there's no technique and that's not the right style. But there's no kissing, there's no foreplay, there's no pleasure for women, and 88% of pornography is violence against women. And there's a certain sex act in pornography that you need a lot of consent around, and yet our teens think that that is totally normal. So please talk to children about consent. There are some fantastic resources that I use when I'm working with children. There are 4 videos that I always use. There's a great video for children called Consent for Kids. You may have already seen Consent in a Cup of Tea. It's gone viral. Lots of people have seen it, and it uses the analogy about, if you don't want a cup of tea, you don't pour it down somebody's neck. But my favourite for teenagers is one from Canada, which is actually called Cycling Through Consent. And it just goes a bit deeper, and I've got quite a quirky sense of humour. And what I love about it, partway through it, they talk about a one bike stand instead of a one night stand, and it just goes with my sense of humour. But my favourite resource is one that I made. I've been fortunate enough to have run my program in 65 remote communities in Australia, and in 7 of them we've made songs based on our program. And the consent song that was made by the children out of Namampa is absolutely gorgeous. It's really catchy, and we're very proud of it. So I'll put the link to all of those 4 videos in the show notes. Please teach your children about consent, model it, advocate for children, and help them keep themselves safe. Bye.